guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I know I'm a little bit late with Boxycharm this month. I actually am still with the November box, of course not the December just yet, but I did get this a little bit late. I did subscribe to Boxycharm once again a little bit later in the month, so I have not had the chance to show it off or let you guys know what we got in this box or anything, but I did get this in the mail and I did at least want to go ahead and share it with you guys just to see if the box is still worth it, as well as if you guys like any of the items in here. Boxycharm still does sell the boxes because after the months sometimes, depending on availability, as well as some of the items, they do still stay on the site, of course, to buy as well separately if they're available. So I at least wanted to go ahead and show you guys what I got in my November box, as well as I do have some new products here that I want to go ahead and I want to play around with and I want to share with you guys. So for today we will be playing with the Boxycharm box, as well as we will be going in with a new primer, which for me will be the Tatcha Silk Canvas. This is a pretty pricey product, so I do want to go ahead and test it out with you guys today on camera, and I want to definitely go ahead and see if it's worth the money. I will be linking everything down below and giving you guys a price point. I want to say this was like $50 if I remember from the top of my head, but we're going to be testing this out today, as well as I do have the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer, but this one is in the coconut, so coconut perfect tan, and like this. But when you open it up, my favorite thing about these bronzers are that they are huge. So that is the bronzer right there. So we're going to be testing this out today. And then I was using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer for a very long time, but I did run out, and I was in Sephora just looking to see if I find something else to kind of play around with and test. And I did go ahead and pick up the NARS Creamy Concealer, and I picked it up in the shade Café con Leche. So we'll be playing around with this today and seeing how I like it, and then we'll go from there. If I like it, then awesome. If I don't, then I will go look for another that I like, because the Tarte Shape Tape is a great concealer. It is definitely my favorite, but I want to, you know, expand new horizons, I guess. And then of course my tried and true Fenty Beauty foundation, but I did go back and I did get color matched again, and I got color matched to a shade that was a little bit closer to my skin tone. I was using the 180 before, and now I'm using the 190. The 180 was a good shade for me, but it was a little bit too yellow toned rather than the 190. The 190 is a little bit more natural, so this one blends into my skin a little bit better. And I don't know if I've said this before, but these foundations, they oxidize, and whenever this one oxidizes, it's not as obvious as the 180. The 180, you could see the difference whenever I'm blending it down to my neck. You could see kind of like where it's stopping. So this one, I tested this one out when I was at the store, and I like wore it for a little bit, and it was definitely a better choice. So I'm gonna be playing with this one today. And then of course I just picked up the Laura Mercier translucent powder. You can never go wrong with this powder. I completely ran out of the other one, so I just wanted to pick up a whole new one, and we will be, of course, setting with this. Now, of course, I did want to go ahead and I wanted to stick with the theme of just trying out new things that I've recently purchased, and I have not used this lipstick yet. I did purchase it a little while ago, probably about 3 months ago or so. I just have not used it, and this is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick, the matte lipstick, excuse me, and it's going to be in the shade Stevie, and it's this like dark tone right here. It looks a lot lighter on camera, but it's this like dark mauvey shade right here, and I'm really excited to try that. So we will definitely be trying a look that we can incorporate this shade in. Now, the eyeshadow palette that came in the Boxycharm box, it is a very warm tone, so I don't know how I'll be able to incorporate the lipstick with the eyeshadows, because it is kind of like rosy as well. You can take a look here. So I don't know how well I can incorporate the lipstick, but we'll definitely try. But this is the Ace Beauty Grandoise palette. I completely butchered that, and I'm so sorry about that. But we will be incorporating that there. And then let's see. All right, so we will go into what is in the Boxycharm box in just a moment here, and we will kind of dig in through the entire thing. But last but not least, we are also going to be using a couple of Morphe things today. We will be playing around with the Morphe setting spray. I've been using this and I've been loving this, but I have not used it yet on my channel. But I just wanted to, of course, incorporate it, and I did want to go ahead and talk about it a little bit. But we are going to be using the Jaclyn Hill brushes, and these I received probably early November, and I've been using them ever since. But we will be incorporating these today, so we've got the full set here. And so I've got my face brushes on this little mason jar here, and then I've got the eye brushes in this mason jar here, and then the eye brushes are just kind of mixed in with my other brushes. But all the little ones here, like with the white handles and everything, those are the ones that we're going to be using, except for like maybe one or so that's from e.l.f. But we are going to be playing around with these today, so let's jump right in. Alright, so we're going to jump in with the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, and I have already started using this right now, but let's go ahead and complete. So the cool thing about this primer is that it comes with like a cool little scoop, which I've noticed that about the Tatcha products. They all come with some sort of scoop, and it's this little guy right here. So that's pretty cool. So you just grab it and then you just scoop out a tiny bit. Apparently a little goes a long way. And then with this primer, a little definitely goes a long way. So please, please, please be very careful. Do not be too generous. I have learned that the hard way. I have been fighting with this primer for about 15 minutes now, so yes, do not get too generous. And now we're going to move on to foundation. So we're going to jump right into the Fenty Beauty foundation here. And again, I'm in the shade 190. Alright, and now we're just going to move on to the NARS Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Café con Leche. So far, I'm really liking the concealer and I'm really liking the primer. Again, yes, the foundation is new, as in a new shade, but I had already been using this foundation, so I'm already accustomed to it, and I know that I like it. But I do feel like this shade is a lot more of my tone than the others. So that, of course, is definitely good. But as far as the primer and the concealer go, so far so good. So then now we're just gonna go in and we're gonna just set that very quickly. We've got the concealed area set. We're just gonna go in, we're gonna grab one of these large fluffy brushes. So for the Jaclyn Hill brush set, it's gonna be the brush that is JH01, And we're just gonna grab some of that translucent powder. We're gonna dust it right into the, just gonna grab the one that just comes right off the top here. And we're just gonna set the rest of the face. There we go. Just like that. I will say, I was super excited when the brush collection came out because I have been dying for a big brush like this one. And I just wanted to go ahead and get it off Morphe itself, but I was like, well, let's see when the brush set comes out. Let's see what it includes. And then I was really excited to see this one in there, as well as I was really excited to see the 02, the JH02. This one I actually use it for bronzing, and you guys will see that in just a little bit here. But the JH01 is by far my favorite brush in the collection. Now that the face is set, usually I'll just continue on with the face and then I'll go ahead and I'll do the eyes, or I'll start with the eyes and then finish off the face. But because we are wanting to try the Boxycharm, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with the eyes very quickly. Go ahead and use the palette that was used there. Now, it is gonna be a little bit trickier today, but because Boxycharm, let's see, once we open it up right here, so in the box, plus this little guy that fell out. So this here is the Bodyography makeup brush cleanser. This one I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give this to my mom because I don't usually use these cleansers. I just kind of stick with either the At Home or I stick with the Beauty Blender brand. So for the Boxycharm box, we have of course the little pamphlet here, and then for the box of November, it was in the style, it was in the theme Gold Digger. I did go ahead and I did show you guys the eyeshadow palette earlier. And then of course that goes with the eyeshadow palette. Then what I was most excited about was the Cover FX drops. Now these drops are glitter drops, so it's gonna be for highlight. And I just realized that I just set my face and we're gonna be using liquid highlighter, so I don't know how that's gonna work out, but we'll still see. But of course the Cover FX glitter drops, excuse me, it comes with a pair of tweezers, and these are really cool because they're double-ended. We've got these tweezers here, and these are with the brand Farrah brushes. And then last but not least, didn't want to come out, we've got these Luxie eye brushes. So this is the reason why it's going to get a little bit more complicated, because since we've got the Luxie eye brushes here, then we probably won't be using much of the Jaclyn ones. But I'll see if I can incorporate them, of course. But because these are pretty tiny, like the heads are very small, like they're very thin. So these are the brushes right here. So this one is the Luxie 141 mini round. You've got the 131 mini angled. And then last but not least, you've got the mini tapered. So these are the brushes here. And again, they are mini, so they are pretty small. So I don't know how well, oh, I'm sorry, I missed one. So I don't know how well they'll perform. So again, we'll try to incorporate the Jaclyn ones in there. Come on, little guy. Okay. And this one is the mini flat angled. Wow. So these are it right here. 4 brushes, which they're very cool and they're really cute. They're gold with glitter on it, so I love that. And Luxie brushes are very nice, so I'm really excited about that. So we're gonna jump in with the eyes, and then once we're done with the eyes, then we'll go ahead and complete the face, and then we'll use the liquid glitter. So this palette here, and again, this is the pamphlet. This palette here is $24.99, and then the glitter drops are $44, which of course would have guessed it. And then of course the mini set is $21. And then of course we've got the cleanser itself, that's $12. And then we've got the tweezers that are also $12. All right, so this box here retails for $113.99, and the box itself was only $21. So, I mean, we're gonna try out the products now to see if the products are definitely worth it. But I mean, in the past, I know that I've really enjoyed Boxycharm, so let's see how we like it this time. But we are gonna go in with patchouli right here in the corner. I want to take that right into the crease as our transition shade. And for that, I'm just gonna go in with the JH32. Okay, so this one's just a tad too light for me, where I kind of can't see it on the skin a little bit. So I feel like this is a lot better for like some sort of lid shade or so, not necessarily for the actual crease. So we're gonna go in. Okay. So let's go in with cinnamon instead. Just gonna jump in with cinnamon. Okay, and then now I'm gonna go in with the mini tapered brush from Luxie, and I'm gonna grab the shade Poppy, which is this like deep burgundy shade right here. And I'm gonna put that on the outer corners of the eyes. I'm gonna grab the same brush that I was using earlier. I'm just gonna blend that in. I will say the mini brush is not the most helpful because since it's so small, it's very precise, which is fine. I completely understand why, and I completely understand where it will be beneficial. But for a look like this where you want it to be very buffed out and very blended, it's not gonna be the best choice. I will say these are super pigmented, you guys. Okay, yep. So definitely not my favorite brush. We're gonna move into the actual lid. So we are gonna be grabbing the brush that is the JH33. And now I'm gonna be going in with the Myrtle shade. And again, that one is right here. This is Myrtle. And we're just gonna apply that right onto the lid. Okay, and then I just went in with the same shade, the same brush with that shade Poppy, and just kind of went over the eye with that. And then now we're gonna go in with the mini flat angled brush, and we're gonna go in with a little bit of cinnamon. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the Poppy, which is the burgundy shade. We're just gonna bring it to the outer of the eye. Awesome. So that is the eye look, you guys. We're just gonna go ahead and move on. Now I will say with this makeup look, there is no way on earth that I can use Stevie, so we'll probably just go in with a nude. So now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna finish the eyes, and then we're gonna move on. So let me go ahead and finish the eyes off camera because there's nothing new and exciting for that. Same mascara as always, better than sex. For the eyebrows, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use the Dip Brow Pomade in Soft Brow, same exact thing I've been using. And then for eyeliner, I'll be putting on the Marc Jacobs, like very deep black eyeliner, same as normal. So I'll go ahead, I'm gonna finish this off camera, and then I'll be back to finish the rest of the face. All right guys, so now we're back. The eyes are completely finished. We went ahead and we did the eyebrows as well. So now we're just gonna go ahead and move on with the rest of the face. So we're gonna add the blush, the bronzer, and then we're gonna do the glitter drops. And again, These are the glitter drops, and these are in the shade Nova. Let's actually go ahead and take these out now. Oh! Oops. Safe, okay. And I've been listening to the Pretty Basic podcast. It's with Remy and Alicia Marie, and you guys, it is amazing. The one I'm listening to right now is the most recent, I believe, and it's the weight loss and slut shaming. It's really good, you guys. You guys should really listen to it. Okay, anyways, so these are the drops here. And again, these are just the glitter drops, and again, the camera probably look a lot darker than what they really are. It's kind of like a pretty gold, it's like very gold actually. And again, this is in Nova. So we'll go in with this in just a moment. So first we're just gonna go in with the bronzer, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the JH02. And we're just gonna bronze up the face. And now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab the Milani, and this is just the Romantic Rose blush. And I think that's the name of the blush itself. I think it's just like the line of the blush, but this is 01 Romantic Blush. So 01 Romantic Rose. So whichever one you find. And then for the blush, I actually went in with the brush H04. And now for the glitter drops. And I feel like these might get messy. So these are the glitter drops here. All right, so let's get started. Blend that in until you literally cannot blend anymore. So, other than that, we've got lips, and then for the lips, we're actually just gonna go very simple, and we're just gonna jump in with the MAC Whirl, and then the Velvet Teddy. Actually, I lied. We're actually gonna jump in with the dupe, which is gonna be just the NYX Mauve. I just opened up Whirl and it wasn't sharpened, so. Alright guys, and that is for today's video. So again, for the items that I did purchase, so for the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer, as well as the bronzer, foundation, the concealer. So the foundation itself, of course, I already knew how it was going to perform because it's definitely one of my favorites. But again, it's a brand new shade that I had never tried before, which I felt like it was more appropriate to my skin tone, which I still do feel it's more appropriate to my skin tone rather than the 180. So again, my shade is 190. Other than that, so the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer. So that primer, I definitely do really enjoy it, and I am gonna keep using it to just kind of get accustomed to it and really have a firm opinion on it. It did perform well today. Now, again, that is a very pricey primer, so I do highly recommend just exploring all areas and making sure that it is something that it is worth purchasing for you, because again, it is about $50 and the primer itself is only 0.7 ounces, so you're not getting too much product in this for the price. So it might not be worth it for the price point unless you're extremely comfortable and something that you've been really looking into purchasing. Other than that, I do highly recommend maybe looking into another area or purchasing it, testing it out, testing the waters, and then if it doesn't work for you, then of course you're always welcome to look into an exchange or so. So again, Boxycharm, I have done the subscription once before and I really enjoyed it the first time I ever tried it. I just had to cancel it because obviously subscription you have to pay monthly. So it got a little difficult at one point, but again, I resubscribed last month for the November box and I really enjoyed what was in it. Again, just the glitter drops themselves, these are $44 and the box is $21, and once you get charged like $22 and some change, it definitely is, in my opinion, worth it. I do highly recommend checking it out. Other than that, that was all for today's video, and again, it is December 1st, so I'm super excited. Today is the first day of not Vlogmas because I am not a vlogger yet. But it is the first day of Vlogmas and it is going to be the first day of my Vlogmas. So you guys should expect videos for the next 25 days and then we'll see if we can push it to 31. But other than that, you guys, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys!